in a covered wagon goes so slow compared to a car. Just to try and imagine that. It's so slow. It's only carried by 2 horses. Okay? So, the points on the map show the distances that the Smith family traveled. So, for instance, they started in Council Bluffs and they traveled to Fort Kearney. How far did they travel on that first day in the covered wagon from Council Bluffs to Fort Kearney? Lucy?
319 miles.
Very good. That dot on the map tells us that they traveled 319 miles.
It doesn't say on the map where Fort Kearney is.
Right here. That dot and that line point to Fort Kearney, and there's the miles they traveled. Okay? Everybody see that? Every dot on that map has a miles that they traveled from the beginning. So they started at 0 in Council Bluffs, and they traveled to each of those different destinations, and those are the miles they traveled. Okay? How far, so the first problem asks, how far did the Smiths travel from Fort Kearney to Ash Hollow? How far was that? Yes, Mariah?
504 miles.
Let's see the map. 504 miles, that's correct. From Fort Kearney to Ash Hollow. How far did they travel? Ian?
504.
They traveled 504 from the starting point, which is Council Bluffs. I want to know how far they traveled from Fort Kearney to Ash Hollow. So, what's the mile marker? What's the distance at Fort Kearney?
319.
Raise your hand. Israel.
319.
319. What's the mile distance at Ash Hollow? Omri. 509 or 4? 504. Without figuring it out, don't write nothing down. Estimate about how far they traveled. Jalen. 823? This is the miles they started out at. This is what they ended at in Ash Hollow. They traveled 800 miles between 300 or 500? Yes. Okay, that's fine. I want the estimate. Everybody did it and they just didn't. Yes, Israel.
185?
About 185, but probably dominant.
Maybe like 23.
400's probably a little too much, but that's an estimate.
399.
Let's use, what's this number, 319 closest to? Chris?
Close to 400. No, 500. 162.
162, so we have 185, we have 162. Jalen?
823.
You have 823, that's
823.
a little off, but okay, we'll take that.
Before you said estimate.
Okay, are we adding the distance? If we're going and traveling farther, are we adding the distance? Right, we're jumping from point to point to point, so we are subtracting, Dominic.
Maybe 200.
200 is excellent, excellent. Because, explain to me, why do you think it's about 200?
Well, if you kind of would think about the hundreds, if you kind of think about the hundred, if you minus 3 from 5, you would just be left with 2.
right?
That's right.
So, and then you wouldn't have to add anything else, it would just be 200.
Good. He's using multiples of hundreds. And he's not worried about the secondary numbers. He's just using the hundreds. And it's about 200. 200 something. Ian.
Was it 9?
209 is
It's
close.
195.
209 is a good estimate.
I did it.
Okay?
295.
So, did they travel more or less than 100? How many say they traveled less than 100? Raise your hands. How many say they traveled more than 200? Raise your hands. How many say they traveled between 100 and 200 miles? Everybody should be raising their hands. That's a good estimate. Okay, you want to do that here. Let's use a number line. Everybody needs to start this problem with a number line.
I already know this.
All right,
I did it in my head.
you can do it in your head. We're going to solve the first problem, and we're going to use the number line strategy in our workbooks. So if you haven't solved this, Justin, Justin, I know you solved this already, but I want you to use the number line. Okay, so draw a number line. What's the number that goes here?
What was it?
Hey, Brian, what's the number that goes on the left-hand side? 319. Smith, what's the number that goes on the right side? Chris 2. 504. Is there a number that we can put in that number line that would help us as a landmark, as a way to make it easier? Yes, no? Exactly. 400. Good job, Noah. Okay. So, what will be our first jump on the number line? Shree. Dominic.
Maybe 320, because that's pretty close to, that's close to 319.
Okay, we'll just 320.
320.
And that's 1. Brianne, what is our next jump?
80.
80. That takes us to
400.
400. Very good. Who am I called on? Israel.
Jump 100.
100. That takes us to
500. Let me jump 4.
Ian.
Jump 4.
We jumped 4.
I already wrote it down.
Okay, Noah. What do we do with all these numbers on our jump?
Add them.
We add them. So what's the first number we're going to put up?
1. No. 100.
100.
80.
80.
4.
4.
1.
What's 4 plus 1, Noah?
5.
What's 8 plus 0, Noah?
8.
What's 1 plus 0, Noah?
1. That's what I got.
So, the first answer to that problem should be a number line showing 185 miles. Is that not what you got?